Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, whatever time of the day it is you're joining with us. This is the Tulsa World Scene Zoom video slash podcast. And for all of the young gentlemen that join us to watch and listen to Grace Wood, I'm sorry. She's unavoidably detained and can't be with us today. She's working very hard. So you're stuck with us, and we'll give you time to click off. Okay, we're back. I'm here with my colleague, the lovely and talented Jimmy Trammell. Now, Grace, what she was going to talk about, it is a big deal. She's going to have a story this Saturday on the Patterson House, which is it's located on the corner of 31st and Peoria, and it's about a 100-year-old house. It is going on the market. And I believe the asking price is $15 million. Granted, this is a few blocks just north of the gathering place. So that might explain, or is it just south? No, it's just north of the gathering place. So that might explain a little bit of its cachet, but she'll give us all the up, down, and the low down on that in this Saturday's Tulsa World, available at fine retailers everywhere and online at tulsaworld.com. Speaking of low down, few people in the music world can sing lower than Richard Sturban of the Oak Ridge Boys.
It's funny. He jokes that if it wasn't for his voice, he'd have to have a real job.
It's an impressive thing because it looks so effortless. And as anyone who has tried to imitate his Papa Mau Maus knows, that's a hard thing to do. I believe you've had a chat with Mr. Richard.
Yeah, the Oak Ridge Boys are coming to River Spirit Casino this weekend to perform in the backyard of the person they call the Godfather, who is Jim Halsey, the longtime music impresario, who once upon a time operated the biggest country music agency in the world out of Tulsa, still manages the Oak Ridge Boys. So it's always a nice little reunion when the Oak Ridge Boys and Jim Halsey get together. He was very instrumental in their careers. Back in the day, early 70s, they were a gospel quartet who wanted to make the transition to country music. And they got a lot of resistance for that. It may not seem like a big deal now, but in the 70s, they were almost pariahs for, oh my gosh, they're transitioning to country music and leaving the gospel behind, although they've embraced both paths now. But Jim Halsey was really the guy who helped get them over the top and into the mainstream and to country music. And so we'll talk about that a little bit, and maybe what their reaction was the first time they heard one of their songs on the jukebox. It's kind of a very funny story. And Richard Sturban, I don't get into this, but Richard Sturban, with the booming bass voice, he was a backup singer for Elvis before he joined the Oak Ridge Boys. If you ever read his book, which I recommend, one of the greatest pranks I've ever read about was courtesy of Elvis and his backup singers and his crew. I don't know if I want to, ruin the prank here. Maybe you want to read the book, but let's just say Elvis was a very accomplished prankster back in the day.
Okay. Well, I remember because the controversy, but the Statler brothers also, were a gospel group that had hits in the country charts, but at the same time, they were, every record that they did, they included at least one, usually several gospel songs. They always saw themselves as a gospel quartet who happened to have these, non-gospel songs. So, but when am I right in my memory that the Oak Ridge Boys' first non-gospel release was the Y'all Come Back Saloon?
That was their first hit. That's correct.
Which is a great song. I mean,
well, Richard Sturban said when they heard the demo could have been a hit.
Yeah.
So just they didn't write the song; it was someone else's song. Unfortunately, they had a song hunter for them back in the early days, a songman who, with the help of Jim Halsey, who recruited these people, really helped get them over the top.
Yeah, well, great. Um, Speaking of over the top, Tulsa Opera is going to open its version of Salome, which is the company's first uh, attempt at an immersive opera experience. There will be audience members on the stage. There's going to be all kinds of frivolities going on in advance of the actual show beginning. As they said, they're trying to blur the lines between what is performance and what is not. So I don't know if they're going to pull people out of the audience or anything like that, but it's going to be quite an amazing thing. It's the vision of a Tulsa native named Thaddeus Strasburger that we've interviewed, that can be found online. We'll also have an interview with the woman who will be playing Salome, Julia Mintzner, who this is not only her first time to sing this role, but it is, in a very real way, the first time she's tried out a new voice. So we'll explain that a little bit. That should be coming out this Friday. Mayfest is coming up, and I believe you're going to have something about the music acts that'll be performing throughout the week, but you've got another local music story to deal with.
True. You'd written the original Mayfest story that Mackenzie Thomas will be the headliner at Mayfest, but we'll have a complete list of all the performing artists on the two main stages at Mayfest and Sunday's Tulsa World. But also we got a different music story in Sunday's Tulsa World and on TulsaWorld.com. I mean, we all get kind of jaundiced in the profession, right? That we kind of stereotype the stories, and I got pitched a story of a local band has signed a record deal, and a lot of those come across, and they all kind of sound the same. But boy, when I read the press materials for this band, Cliff Diver, that's got a record deal and has a record out May 6th. This is a band with an unbelievable story, very unique, and there's a larger mission than just music. I've watched some of their videos. Hanson makes a guest appearance at one of their videos. Seem to be a band having a great time, but behind that great time, they're just really interesting stories. And I don't want to give it all away here, but if you read the story in Sunday's Tulsa World, you'll see this is a band that's not a cookie cutter band. They're very different with a great story.
Does the secrets that you don't want to reveal right now, how does that affect the music that they do? Is it is their music kind of like, I don't know, triumph over adversity, or are they dealing with dark things in dark ways, or how, again, I don't want you to give away everything about your story.
Well, they're a pop punk emo band, and the song titles seem very fun. That was my first introductions. I just read the song titles on their album, and I'll just say that they, in a very positive way, deal with mental health and help people feel better.
Something we all need in these trying times, that's for sure. Well, what I've got coming up, the Bob Dylan Center, which will be the home of the Bob Dylan Archives, will open to the public on May 10. And so there's a big buildup leading up to that, and we're going to have a story about the impact this having this here is going to have in Tulsa. Talk about some of the events that are coming up, which includes a series of concerts, two of which featuring Patti Smith and her band, and featuring Elvis Costello and the Imposters. Tickets are still available for them. Those will both be at the Cain's Ballroom, May 6 and 7. Patti Smith is on the 6th, Elvis Costello on the 7th. So we'll have some information about that, some other things about the Bob Dylan Center. And we're hoping to be able to, following Sunday, give people at least a little bit of a look at what's going to be like inside the center and things that they're going to be able to encounter once it opens to the public. And we'll have all that information this Sunday. What else do we have coming up?
Well, we've hit Elvis Presley and Elvis Costello. Can we get Elvis Peacock in here anywhere?
Well, we've talked about Patti Smith. You know, do we need to include Patti Smythe and all? But anyway,
we should give a shout out to something that's going to happen pretty soon that the Tulsa World is sponsoring.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I threw out Elvis Peacock's name. I guess we can segue to sports.
There we go.
That way, if we choose. But the Tulsa World sponsors something called the All World Awards. It's for high school sports, excellence in high school sports. Sponsors Bill Knight Automotive. It's going to happen August 2nd at the Renaissance Tulsa Hotel Convention Center. You can get tickets now at allworldawards.com. So there we go.
Are those are the ones that are voted on by readers, or?
I believe that's correct.
Okay.
There's reader participation.
Okay. So champion your local high school athletes that way. So, well, I think we've run out of things to say for this week. We want to thank you all for listening. Wish Miss Wood speedy fingers in typing up what she has to do for deadline. So on behalf of Jimmy Trammell, we are wishing you a pleasant good day, and we'll gladly see you later.
Goodbye.